I hear it all the time. What are you guys using as the mechanism for the accredited investor banking or the infinite banking policies? We are using whole life insurance, although it may have slightly lower returns. What we are looking for is more a surety. If you want to go and make investment returns, then what I would say, especially if your net worth is under a few $1 million, is go invest in private equity, businesses, rentals, syndications, make it there. But as I'll discuss here further, IULs is the clueless way of diversifying into a plethora of retail investments. So if you look back to some of the ways the older infinite banking policies were put together, there was this concept over wanting surety or, as close to guarantees as possible, which is again why, you work with the largest AAA rated companies out there, which, our brokers can help set you up with. And you can check out our e-course at thewealthelevator.com/bank. We've got these great, long, more in-depth e-courses. But let's get back more into like why the heck do we use whole life insurance and not IULs? Whole life insurance has a few things going for it. There's no guarantee, but this is the closest thing you can get to a guaranteed death benefit, cash value dollar amount, and the premiums that you put in. Whereas the IULs, it's a little bit up in the air and definitely not something that we want to have as the stability foundation for the way we use it as investors. Again, really high level, but we use as investors, we stuff a lot of money into our policies via paid up additions. We take a loan from it right away and it's off to better places and play the arbitrage game. Better places meaning rental properties, syndication deals. Heck, if you want to invest in stocks, that's another way of doing it too. Not my jam, but basically you making a higher return by also borrowing the money from your policy and kind of creating a bit of a double dipping effect there. But why is the IULs even in this discussion? A lot of the guys who sell these policies, they listen to what the client wants, and the clients will say things that don't quite make sense in my opinion, where I want this and I want this, even though those two things are a bit counteractive. And the agent will be like, they told me in my manual that IULs allow for returns and it's life insurance too. But in our world, not quite. Again, the way we always talk about within the Wealth Elevator community, if you ever come out to our events, is IULs are a bit of the clueless way of investing with life insurance. The important thing to note is that there is market influence. It is correlated with what's going on with the stock market, which is why the returns are better. But again, when you're having your accredited investor banking policy that we put together or your straightforward traditional infinite banking policy, that's not the point, right? You want just a place for you to store your cash and make that little bit yield so you can take a loan from yourself and invest elsewhere. IULs mimic what's going on in the stock market. And there's a variety of ways people cleverly create floors, but you got to give up your upside if you're a certain level that, yeah, you can hedge what's going on there. If you want my opinion, I would say if you want to invest in the stock market, take your money and go too many of these strategies all in one, which is exactly what the IUL, when tried to turn into an infinite banking or accredited investor banking situation. Other reasons why I don't like the IULs, the premiums are not guaranteed, meaning that insurance companies can change those premiums on you, potentially requiring additional payments on your end. This can create rising internal costs that are a little bit unpredictable outside your control. But the biggest thing is it's influenced by what's going on with the stock market, which is the reason why I've got a diversified portfolio, of course, right? But when I'm talking about my accredited investor banking or my private vault for my dry powder, I want zero influence on what's going on with the stock market in there, which is why, again, at least for where I look at it, I'm not using an IUL here. IULs they publish in the papers can be a little misleading because there is a bit of assumptions there. That assumption is what is going on with the stock market. Just an investor brought me the other day this Bitcoin mining machine deal, which I'm not saying never, but I don't think I would ever really invest with that. Or if I did, I would really look at what's it's predicated on, which is the price of the damn Bitcoin going up or whatever crypto it's built on. And in this case, you can get a sense here, IUL, similarly, it's built off an assumption that the stocks will keep going up and up and up. Whereas a whole life insurance is not really built off of that type of assumption and case, which from my perspective here, you're understanding why the full life insurance is really the mechanism for our infinite banking policies and accredited investor policies. And But byproduct wise, sometimes on paper, when you first look at it, the whole life policies can seem pricier on paper because, again, they're pricing in the fact that there could be market appreciation in the IUL, which, as you're now seeing, may or may not happen. And it could be actually worse than the whole life product. And it's getting complicated, right? Whatever you do, IUL, whole life, make sure you get those illustrations from your broker. And if you want us to drop an illustration for you, we can do that also. But I think when you look at this in chart form, you're able to compare the numbers. You'll see what we're talking about more from a trend analysis when it's black and white in your face. For most of our clients, the whole life product built within the use case of an investor, storing the money in there, throwing in few $100,000, and then investing outward, playing this arbitrage game. Definitely want to go the whole life product. If you guys like this, you got any questions, put a comment below, like the video, and make sure you guys pick up our free Infinite Banking e-course at thewealthelevator.com/bank. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.